So it's crazy. I just watched the highlights of the Florida State NC State game. And what a bold call by NC State to go for it on 4th and 6, up by 3 with a minute 53 to go in the game on the Florida State 12-yard line. They go for it on 4th and 6, get the touchdown to put the game, to make the game 21-11, pretty much putting it out of reach with that little time. What a bold call by NC State. And yeah, that's crazy. Huge, big win for NC State. Sadly, Florida State kind of unraveled this season after a promising start. Opening win against Bama, you thought, okay, is Florida State going to bounce back? Are they going to have a similar season to like they had in 2023? But yeah, Florida State really kind of falling apart, and it kind of makes you wonder, what's next for Florida State? Can they bounce back under Mike Norvell, have a type of season they have under 23, or was that kind of just an outlier year where everything just came together and you had two guys? It was really a case of just two NFL studs, Jared Verse, Braden Fisk, and it's just kind of a case of just having two NFL studs, especially on the defensive line, that just caused so much disruption that it really just kind of created a defense that was so dominant, and it was kind of just an outlier year. But yeah, Florida State. I mean, Castellanos, looks like a pretty good quarterback. He's made some plays. Deuce Robinson, a nice receiver. Florida, that Boggs, that freshman. Florida State still has some guys. It seems they do every year, but it really just kind of comes down to they got to get a guy. It seems like Florida State always has to have an elite recruiter, not just a good recruiter, because you could always recruit. Seems like I've talked about this. Florida State, Miami. You don't even have to be that good of a recruiter to bring in a top 15 to 25 class at those schools. You really need to be an elite recruiter. Jimbo Fisher, Bobby Bowden, when they really had rolling, they were consistently bringing in, like Florida State under Jimbo Fisher was consistently bringing in like top 3, at least top 5, top 3 class. I think one year they finished second, maybe first. But yeah, I forget what the rankings were under Bobby Bowden, but under Bobby Bowden they were bringing in, it wasn't just, like the floor under Bobby Bowden, they weren't just bringing in, top 15, top 20 classes, Well, okay, I got to clarify. I don't know exactly what they were ranked back then, but they were bringing in guys that were legit. Like for example, under Jimbo Fisher, I mean, you brought in guys like Jalen Ramsey, Devontae Freeman, Jameis Winston. You brought in true, not just good college players, but true difference makers, guys that had NFL careers. So that's what they need at Florida State. A good coach is going to bring in those elite difference makers, guys like Jalen Ramsey, guys like a couple years ago, Braden Fisk, Jared Verse. So that's what Florida State really needs. But yeah, Florida State, kind of a crazy ending. I didn't watch. I was following the game a little bit on Gamecast last night. I wasn't able to watch it, but yeah, kind of a crazy ending and a bold move by NC State to go for it on 4th and 6 at the Florida State 12 and get that touchdown to go up 21-11, as opposed to kicking the field goal and making it 17-11, kind of putting it out of reach.